Okay, this is the beginning of a build series. It's a 1946 Chevy quarter-ton pickup. This first video is just going to be a kind of a walk around, show what's already been done, what needs to be done still, and then I'll have videos coming out showing that those other things that need to be done, and kind of the process. I am no professional, get that right out of the way, but I've been learning as I go and bring you along for the ride. I've learned some stuff and I'll share that with you. First, let's go from the back. You can see it's been step notched. QA1 coilovers, Ford 9-inch, and adjustable 4-link. One of the videos I'll be making is bracing up this step notch a little bit. It's not going to be a whole lot of weight back here, but I'm sure still kind of concerned that it might start bending if not braced properly, so that'll be one video coming out. Another one will be doing the wood bed. I'm going to have to modify it quite a bit because of the step notch. It's going to be probably, I don't know, aluminum box, thin, kind of going over the step notch like that. I'll make a video showing when I do that. That'll probably be the same time I do the wood bed, so I can cut it all, and I'll probably end up putting braces here and here so it holds the wood up and supports it. So I'll make a video doing that. Another one, as you can see, needs patches done in the center belt line molding. These trucks are two-piece, and they have seam sealer right here. So they put little foam pads behind these corners and right in the middle to stop vibration. And those foam pads just absorb water, collect moisture, and rust out. And unfortunately, when I bought this truck, someone had bonded over all these to hide the rust instead of fixing it properly. So that's one thing I'll be doing and making a video on. Next, interior wise, I've adapted the original column and steering wheel to a rack and pinion. I'll show that. It's see if you can actually see it. As you can see, I kind of plated over, plated over where the original gas pedal, brake pedal, and clutch would come through. I'm not going to be using any of those, so I just plated over that big hole and used that to brace the steering column. Has the original mount up here to hold it, but in the bottom, let me open up this. Turn on my light. You can see it's got U-joints, steering U-joints, down to a rack and pinion down here with a support bearing right there welded in. What I ended up doing was cutting it down and putting a bearing with the right OD and ID to fit inside the tube, but allow the original steering shaft to come through enough. And then I ground down the shafts to make it a double D and drilled holes and all that good stuff to make the U-joint fit and be secure. And now it works perfectly fine. Nice and smooth, no binds. That worked out pretty well. The engine, as you can see, it's obviously not a Stoverbolt 6 anymore, which would have been originally in here. It is a mild built 350 small block Chevy. Mild cam, Vortec heads, aluminum intake manifold. Nothing fancy, probably 10-to-1 compression. No idea what kind of power it'll make. It's just I bought it used and kind of refurbished it, so it is what it is. Hopefully it's a good motor. We'll find that out. I'll make a video about making that run for the first time. I had to cut out and box the firewall, which I was trying not to do, but the small HEI kit I bought was not working properly. I got it warranted, and that one also wasn't working properly, so I decided to just get a small HEI, or get a big HEI, and cut out the firewall. Now it's getting spark perfectly. So I'm not going to say what brand that was, but yeah, don't go saving money on certain things doesn't always work out. Let's just put it that way. For fenders, they're fiberglass. They came with the truck. Normally I'd prefer originals, but the originals are pretty thrashed. Someone took, as you can see, they came with fiberglass running boards too, which again I prefer originals, but the bottoms of the original fenders started to rust out, and instead of fixing that, someone decided to weld along here the original running boards to the fender. And then when I got this truck, it was on a pallet in pieces, and the person just assembling it decided to just torch it right here and pretty much ruin any chance of salvaging the running boards and the fenders. So maybe I'll try to fix the bottoms of these on the originals, maybe not. They fit okay, but as you can see, there's issues like headlights on both sides. You can see that. Get a better view in there. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a big gap on both sides under the headlights, and they're not supposed to be like that, obviously. So I'm not sure how I'm going to fix that yet. Grill's pretty beat up, but I'm alright with that for now. Might try to fix that, but this isn't going to be a show car or anything. It's just going to be a cool rat rod style hot rod thingamajig. But I'll make a video. This isn't completely done yet, and obviously I haven't done the other side of the fenders. So I will make a video finishing these off and going through that process. Cause I had to trim up the fenders, had to trim up the running boards to make it all fit properly, or at least close to. As you can see, it's still not going to be perfect. It doesn't cinch up quite right there. Might have to build up some fiberglass there. I'm not sure yet. Okay, as for front suspension, it is not stock. It is a Heights. Turn my light here again. Heights independent Mustang 2 style front suspension, rack and pinion, weld on. It's built specifically for this truck, so it takes a little finagling, at least did for me, to get everything to work properly. And still is going to require a little bit of work. Get down here. It's a tubular upper and lower control arms, coilover, Mustang 2 style hub with disc brakes. Basically, there's wiring that I've done a little bit of. Got a key mounted, turns over with the key. Light switch, turn signal switch is sitting there, not wired in yet. The gauges have been completely rebuilt, and I have oil pressure gauge and all that will be running to it. Temp gauge, all that will be running off this. Same with the fuel gauge, obviously, and the battery and all that. As you can see, it's got 0.000 miles on it. So nothing. Has no gas tank, so I'll be a video doing that. It needs new seat covers. Do another video doing that. That's not going to be too bad. Interior, other than being dirty, isn't terrible, so I'll probably leave that be for now. I put a new floor pan in it, just a blank one, because I didn't need the spot for the oil or the brake fluid reservoir. This would normally be down there on the frame. I'm not going to be using it that way. I made another video I'll do about the brakes. That's just a B&M shifter I had laying around from another project, so I decided to use it. So it'll give me a little short, but it'll work. You can see where that box ended up right there. Not the prettiest thing, but it's functional and works. It's hard to leave the old, someone put that in there. I don't know what exactly it's from. They installed it a little crooked, but it gives it character, I guess. The Magic Air. So that's pretty cool. I'll probably try to see if that works since the blower motor is sitting over there. I put it back in just cause. So I'll probably try getting that work just for fun. Radiator, I'll probably be upgrading. Can't imagine that's going to do too well. It's also got quite a few potential leaks, so probably just getting the aluminum one or something. I know I've seen them around for these trucks, but as it stands, that's about what's been done and what my plans are for the future. I need to get some wheel spacers for the back because my wheels are hitting the bed sides. So I'll be getting that. I can add that to a video, one of the videos I do to get it back on the ground, make it easier to move around. Not even sure if I'm going to be using these wheels. They're just Crown Vic Steelies, but I thought they looked all right. So for now they work. Don't see any reason to change them just yet. Got more important things to worry about. But for the most part, I've done. I was going to say it was relatively rust-free, but then I remembered I did rockers. I've done cab corners on both front and back. You can't see the fronts because of the fenders, but the fronts were what was rusted out. These and the rear cab corners are from the guy, how he had it stored on that pallet. I'll show you a picture of it right now. And then it just toasted the rockers, the rear cab corners. So those had to be replaced. They're all dented. They weren't salvageable. Not worth it anyway, especially since the rockers were easy. They just screw in these trucks, which is fantastic. Saves me a lot of time. One thing that did take a lot of time was, if you can see these guys, they are called clutch heads, and they suck because they strip out very easy if they're rusted in, and that's pretty much what's used all over the inside of this truck, and involves a lot of drilling out and cutting and all that good stuff, which is obviously time consuming and not fun. So it took a while to get them out, but installing them was pretty easy, and I just used regular Phillips heads for that to save time in the future in case it happens again in 70 years. The windshield frame, unfortunately, the glass is salvageable, but let's see if I can find the spot on this. Yeah, right here. On both sides, you can see it's completely rotted out. It's starting to separate on the ends, and almost all of the bolts are snapped off inside the bolt holes, and it's just not worth saving. And unfortunately, that's an expensive piece. New, they're $500 just for those two pieces, and the little back side of this, which I also can't get off without cutting off these. Again, they're clutch heads, and they're just all stripped out. So that's another thing I can make a video on, putting that back in. And there's little odds and ends, and I'll add to videos and all that good stuff. Switching out bolts, these are all just temporary. I'll either put stainless in there, or just paint them if I decide to paint the truck. When I decide to paint the truck, I'm not sure what I'm doing with that route yet, but I'll probably end up painting it similar to that. It's pretty close color, and we have extra, so I might as well, since I painted that and it turned out pretty well, I might as well do this the same way, I figured. But all that will be coming down the road, and a lot of cleanup and seals and all that good stuff. So future videos will be coming out showing all that. Hopefully by then I'll have something other than just my phone. It'll be a little nicer so I can do time lapses and stuff. Maybe a little less shaky. But Appreciate you guys checking out my first video, and well, my first proper video on working on this on cars on this truck, and a lot more to be coming up in the future pretty soon here. I'll be sending out another video, posting another video of these guys getting finished, and on the other side installing the rear fender and running board and all that good stuff, cleaning up that rusty stuff and all this surface rust, but clean all that up, and expect that pretty soon here. Thanks for watching. See ya.